G'day, g'day! Welcome to the DailyBee with Matty B. So guys, today I've got a real special guest who just came out of thin air yesterday. She's absolutely amazing. Jax. She's a good friend of Ryan Schroeder, who you guys would have seen on an episode maybe 5, I think it was. We're talking about kinesiology and the spiral, and also who's taken me through the spiral experience, if you guys are following that. But yeah, really excited to have Jax on and have a good old chat about passion, purpose, business, life, love. Whatever comes up is going to be amazing. So it's going to be perfect. Hey guys, hey Bryce, hey Jax. Let me know if you've got your invite there, Jax. Oh, I've added you on right now. I'm sitting out in the garden down in Traralgon. For anyone that's around, let me know. Bryce, hello brother. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday morning. I believe it's Tuesday. Always got to double check. I've been having some really late nights, and I feel like when you have late nights, because it's so close to like the next day starts and then you sleep a bit, it's like the days roll into each other. You're not quite sure which day was the last one. Come join me. How cool are these trees behind me? Just all in a little row. I like them. I'm going to get a tech guy that's going to teach me how to put some music behind this so I can dance like Ellen soon. And I'll love it. See my funky beats, my funky moves. How are we going, Jax? Is that working? No, give it another go. Have another crack. Send again, please. I do that all the time. Yeah, tell me, brother. I got some glasses on today. I don't know if I look too tired. I had like 3 hours sleep. So, you know. Adding. It says adding. Jax, let me know if you got that invite. What's been going on? What are you guys up to today? I don't have a good network connection. Or something about your network connection, Jax, apparently. Unless it's mine. Tell me if I am okay. If you can see me okay, if I'm blurry or if I'm looking sharp. Sharp or pixelated? Declined. Well, I can still hang out. I do that all the time. I can still hang out and chat. And if there's anything I can do to help, or if it's me, if it's on my end as well. It might be. Hey, Dommy. Good to see you, brother. Dom, does Frank live in Morwell or Traralgon or something? I think I heard. I'm in Traralgon at the moment, brother. Cool to catch up with a few people while I'm over here. Bryce, what are you up to today, bro? What's going on? All right. Jax is having some troubles by the looks of it with getting on, which is cool. Oh, shit. I am here. Yeah, I can see you here. It's for some reason the invite's not coming through. On my end, it says adding. Oh, where is it? So adding now. Jasmine LeBlanc, good to see you, love. Thanks for jumping on. How are you? Here
Hello.
she is.
Oh my gosh,
hello.
it was me. It was I had my phone on portrait, and so it wasn't letting me.
Learn something new every day.
I don't know what's okay. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Can you hear an echo or not?
I'm gonna take off because I don't think this is even relevant right now. Just as long as you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. How are you going? I think there's a little bit of a delay, but
I'm good.
I'm good. Perfecto. Yeah, beautiful. You're a little bit choppy, that's all. I'm good too. Coming out in the sunshine today.
Okay. This should be better.
There we go.
Is that better?
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Loud and clear.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. No sorries necessary. We always get exactly what we need.
Yeah. Totally. You're looking suave there, Matt. Loving the look. Nice and sunny.
All in a day's work. Yep.
Yeah.
So a little bit cloudy, but in Victoria standards, it's a bloody beautiful day.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. What do you got? You're up in Cairns, yeah? Is that right? Or Brisbane?
I'm in Brisbane.
Brisbane. Yeah, beautiful. I love it. So,
Yeah,
for those that don't know, me and Jax had our basically spoke for the first time yesterday and met
yeah,
yesterday, and it was just based off the back of Ryan Schroeder, who you're friends with also, and been doing a bit of work with, yes?
yep,
Yeah. And
yeah.
so, Jax, for those that obviously don't know you in my network, let them know a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you're from, what's going on, a little bit about your
Yeah,
slice of life. Yeah.
yeah, totally. So, hi, I'm Jax. I'm a mother of two. I live in Brisbane, as I just mentioned. I connected with Matt yesterday because I came across a video that he did with Ryan, and I was just like, wow, who is this guy? I love his energy. He looks really like spot on. I love his message, and so I asked him to jump on today and just have a chat. I would call myself a crusader. I have been toying with the words that I wanted to call
Love it.
myself. I don't connect with coach. I don't connect with mentor, but crusader definitely. And I really, I'm all about just similar things with you, Matt, is just
Yeah.
absolutely helping so many people with eliminating suffering in their mind, suffering that we've both experienced
Yep.
heavily over years, and in a world now where everybody's talking about making more money or getting more sales, or how to get more leads. The world that is confusing a lot of people who don't have the capacity to do that because they're sitting at home really just trying to deal with their own shit.
Yeah.
I'm here to help those people, and they're the ones that really matter to me because they're pretty much me, not long
Yeah.
ago. Mm. So
100%.
that,
Yeah. That's awesome. I just finished watching a short video from Leo Gura at actualize.org, all about the hero's journey. And I was actually showing my mum, and it's it's just so clear, like when you understand the journey that we're all on, and you can see someone that comes to you with their pains and their challenges, and you can just see
yeah,
where they're at on their path, and you've got that ability to just hold their hand and walk them down that untrodden path, because you know that they're really trying to seek something better for themselves. it's
yeah,
um it's an amazing feeling, number one, but it's just like this level of the collective consciousness is rising to that point where we are all now starting to look outside of ourselves and help one another on this epic journey to live a better
mm-hmm.
life, which is fucking awesome.
Yep. And I know what you're saying there is just that the tools that we have are from experiential. They're experiential tools. Like I have no degrees. I've done no courses to be where I am, but I guarantee it. I have endured far much more than a course could ever provide me. So my experiences are real and my tools are real and they've worked and they are what we connect
Yes.
with. And that's the same with you, Matt. We had that discussion yesterday, is that
Hmm.
in a world where everybody's trying to get certified, it's like, hello, you're certified. We're all certified in our own way. It's just trying to find
Yes.
the people we're certified to help, not trying to help everybody, but
Yeah.
people that we can actually authentically help.
Yeah, and I think that you hear a lot of the times, like the treasures in the pain, or like your toughest, like most biggest challenges is where the treasure is and where your gift is. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time that was like, what the fuck does that mean even?
Yeah.
But but I got taught like how to actually embrace my story and own my past. And when I was able to do that, it was just a fucking game changer. And
Yeah.
that's where leads me into my next question is, for you, if you could just open up a little bit and show us a bit of your vulnerability, and tell us a bit of your pains and your challenges that you've been through, so people can
Uh-huh.
sort of know exactly what master's degree you've got in from the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, 100%. Look, this is going to be a first for me. I'm very open and raw about what I share, but I've never really had an opportunity to share this much. And I'm actually grateful because I really want whoever's watching or compelled to watch now or later to understand that they're not alone. Like, they're not. So I was actually born in the Philippines premature. Third world conditions. I bled from the eyes. Apparently, I was the size of like a little tiny bottle. Um, my mum didn't even realize I was coming until partway through her pregnancy. I was like a complete surprise. And so I was adopted by my father, my stepfather, and then we came to Australia. As a child, I did experience being molested when I went back to the Philippines, and something that no one knew, like even my mum didn't even know. And these were in situations that, as a child, I guess I was just so confused. Even now, I have flashbacks of it, but they're not horrible flashbacks. They're just confused, you know, trying to figure out why a grown man was kissing me like an adult. Like, was just like, I didn't understand. And that's a real thing. And I guess I did subconsciously carry that on through my life. And, you know, the law of attraction, you do attract what is going on inside. And so I guess my whole adolescence and teenagehood really reflected that, where and I'm going to share the same story as everybody does. We've all been bullied. We've all been different. We've all been seen different. For me, it was never a racial thing, surprisingly. Like, that's such a huge thing. But for me, in a small country town, it wasn't anything to do with race. It was more such personal attacks. And my home life was very traumatic. My memories of my home, like, I had a really great life. Don't get me wrong. I'm so grateful for my upbringing and the love. But there were moments where I was also having to deal with unsettled traumas from my mum, where I was the punching bag for that. And as a child, I look at my kids now and I think I couldn't even imagine it. But it was horrible, but at the same time, completely necessary for my evolution. And so I left home at 15 after a lot of crazy stuff went down. When I was 13, I was violated. When I was had my first alcoholic beverages, I was violated by a guy who was much older than me. He was 19 years old. At the time, I was like thinking, wow, like someone likes me, but it went a little bit further than that. And it ruined my teenagehood. I was the biggest laughing stock of my town. No one really understanding what actually happened to me, but they made a big joke about it. And it was just this running joke. I was humiliated. And I was humiliated for my family as well, because they had to take that as well. Like, my brother and my sister and my parents, they had to be the family of the girl who did this thing that no one really knew about, but everyone was willing to go, you're an idiot, you've done this. It was a violation that I would never wish on anyone else ever, especially now that I've got children and anyone who has daughters. But it was also, for me, a cry for help as well.
Absolutely.
I left home at 15, having had been in a relationship with someone much older than me. And at the time, everyone again were like, "What are you crazy? What's going on? You're sick." But this person was my savior. He saved me from taking my life many times, because I was broken. I was broken, and it was really hard to put a mask on when you're broken. And like, so the universe had my back the whole time. I left town, and my life evolved. I moved overseas, did the party thing for a while, and it was probably in my mid-20s after I met my ex-husband now, and we started a business together. And recently, in the last few years, a business that costs $500,000 that I was very proud of. It was so amazing. I really had the best time. I owned a restaurant here in Brisbane, and it was really like so popular. It was great. It was just like literally a reflection of who I was and my love for the industry. But then in a succession of 6 months, 3 people in my life passed away, one of them being my best friend and one of them being my dad. And one thing I never did throughout was I actually never gave myself permission to mourn, because I was so consumed with the upkeep of my image, being a business owner, being a mother, being responsible for so many people. I never gave myself permission to mourn it. And what happened was that the mourning, tenfold, triplefold, came down on me like a ton of bricks, and I just went into this spiral, which had me When I separated from my ex-husband, I was into the alcohol. No one knew this. I was drinking myself stupid. I was drugging myself up stupid. I was really just not
All behind the
knowing
scenes.
the only thing that I knew was all of those things. They were my comfort, because that's all I knew, right?
Yeah.
And so it was horrible. I lost friends. I lost the business. I carried the guilt of letting so many people down because I had staff who I cared about so much. I didn't know what was going on with me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I guess it came to a point where I started to really go like, something's not right. Something is not
Yeah.
right about any of this. I couldn't be alone. I was like an anxious mess. I was fetal position many nights on the carpet of my on my lounge floor, crying, thinking, what the heck? What have I done so wrong? I was
Yeah.
crying for my dad, and I was, Daddy, why is this happening to me? Heartbreak after heartbreak. Why? Like, I kept saying, why is this happening? And I just wanted to jump off my balcony. I wanted to jump right off there and then save everyone's life, because I was just the worst person in the world, right? And then it changed when I started to realize that everything that I hadn't faced in who I am, I didn't know who I was. That was the reality. I
That's a
kept
big
trying
one.
distraction, calling people up. What are you doing now? Every single night I wanted to be doing something, because I was like, I have to go out for dinner. I have to be,
Do you want to sit by yourself?
And I didn't realize until it came the night where I was literally alone, and I was like, I couldn't sit without the TV on. I went to the sauna in my apartment, and it was horrible. I was suffering in my own presence. And I thought, that's not right. Something's not right here. The biggest impact, I think, that really got me was my children, because in all of that, I was snapping at them. I was angry at them. I was scaring them with my reactions to them. If they were just playing and they weren't doing what I wanted, I was, what are you doing? Can you just stop it? Like, it was coming out of everything. And my baby boy's eyes when he looked at me, because, oh my God, I feel like crying now, is that when he looked at me with his big puppy eyes and said, Mommy, why are you talking to us like that? Oh my God. It
breaks your heart.
It was huge. And I was like, something's got to change, because I can't do this to them. And so ever since then, I have been on the biggest journey of my life to turn it all around. And the greatest gift was that nature helped me through it. It was nature that helped me through it, and releasing all of the armor, releasing all of the masks, releasing everything that I thought who I was, and facing who I am. And so that's that's my story. I've never shared that to that extent. So thank you for giving me the opportunity for that, Matt.
Oh man, I appreciate it. It's would you say that out of all the trials and the challenges that you've been through and all the pain that you've felt, that they pale in comparison to that struggle and journey of actually holding up that mirror and facing yourself?
The thing is that all of that pain, I couldn't do that anymore. Like, it was that or dead. I couldn't. You get to a point where you're so far from yourself. You know it. We all know it. Anyone who's watching, you sense it. No one needs to tell you that. You can just sense it. It's just this gut-wrenching feeling every day you wake up when you feel so disconnected, and you're just like, what am I doing? And you keep, again, scrolling, and you keep, looking for answers outside of ourselves. So I think it was actually a really beautiful journey when I could accept it, because one of the biggest things I noticed was that people started to fall away. And it was obviously the people that were not going to serve me moving forward. And that's one huge thing to face, is that I went through a process of thinking I was so alone, when in fact the people that were no longer needed in my evolution were just going on their own paths. I wasn't alone. In fact, I was creating a space for the people who needed to come in to help me through that. So little by little, because after I lost my business, I became homeless. I was
Yeah.
couch
Okay.
surfing from here. You know, I was
Yeah.
literally living off the generosity of my friends, and I got to see who my friends were. I really did, Matt. Everyone who was like, oh, everything's going so well for Jack. She's got this business and the Broncos are eating at her restaurant and Early's, you know, everything. They were there. But when I lost everything, I know who they were. The people that
Yeah.
I didn't even realize who were always watching from the sidelines were the ones
Yeah.
that picked me up with their love. And I always remember that. And I still remember that to this day. It's like
Yeah.
I really got to see, and it's not a bad thing, but I really got to see clearly my life path and how it's okay to not be friends with people who were your friends with 10 years ago because you've just gone on different life paths. I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
nasty. I don't think anyone's a bad person. It's just I was able to see clearly the purpose of our subcontracts, our soul contracts.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's so powerful when you. I remember going through that stage of feeling like I've either got to cut people out of my life or they're going to fall away, and I didn't know what to do, and if I was going to be lonely or. But when you sort of let go, you do realize that it's just this sort of natural thing that happens. You don't really do anything. It's just the people that are vibrating at that different frequency to you, they just do fall away. And the new ones, like case in point, you gave me a call yesterday, is just a
Yeah,
perfect example of people that are vibing on your level that just come into your life. Bam.
yeah,
Organic, naturally. There's no force. There's no pushing it. You don't need to do fuck all, really. It's just
you
a
don't.
natural thing that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So for people that I feel really honored and proud that you took this opportunity and that I've been able to sort of create this space for you as well. So thank you. Just on that note, um, I guess for people that are still struggling to go within, or that are still trying to change their outer world to make themselves happy, to find that sense of fulfillment, to find that sense of purpose, who don't know what they're passionate about, that haven't faced the shit from the past,
Yeah.
other than obviously feeling that level of pain from your kids, that really sounds like was the line in the sand moment for you.
It
What would you
was,
say to
yeah.
people? Yeah, do you feel like people need to find that line in the sand moment and feel that pain, or is there something that you feel people can do before they get to that point to really start going on this journey within?
Yeah. I guess it gets, I think the line of the sand is really important part of our evolution, but there are ways to identify it easily, is to really uh, notice your feeling and how much you're willing to tolerate of that feeling. And the one thing that I would say for anyone that is like listening and watching and then going, wow, I think that's me, is number one, you're not alone. So don't act alone. Don't act alone. Reach out. I was
Yeah,
so
true.
blessed that the people that came into my life were uh, people who were so generous with helping me along. And
Yeah,
there are people like you and I, Matt, who are here, who've lived it, who are the people that are like, I can help you from pure love. I can help you. You're not alone. And if you start behaving like you're alone, you're going to stay alone in this journey and you get nowhere. Like there are free tools out there and there's free formulas out there, but why do personal trainers exist? Because everybody knows how to lose weight and get fit. Everybody knows how to do that. The formula is pretty damn simple, but we all need the support and the push and the reminders every day of our vision, of the pain. We need that because humans are a collective. We're not one
yeah,
human walking the face of the planet. We're a collective, and we're here to teach each other, learn from each other, and to expand from each other. So I honestly, I credit everybody that helped me along the way, but I also
yeah,
credit YouTube. I credit YouTube.
yeah,
I have literally, I can type anything on YouTube, any feeling I'm feeling, and there's a solution on there somewhere. You got to
Yeah.
be hungry, and it doesn't,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
not like there's not anything available to us. It's not like,
Yeah.
20 years ago when you were experiencing this, you were pretty much screwed. You had to pay
Yeah.
thousands for someone to help you through it. Right now,
Yeah.
in this day and age, it's a matter of jumping on these live videos. It is a matter of
Yeah.
just getting on
Reaching
YouTube
out.
and seeking it. But identifying it is the biggest thing, and identifying not how it's just impacting you, but how the relationships in your life is being impacted, how your expansion is being impacted, whether it is money, whether it is
Yeah.
friendship circles, all of that stuff.
I think I've spoken about that a fair bit as well. How much people underestimate, or just have no idea. Number one, how impactful they are and how much they impact people, in the sense that we've all got about 1,000 people in our network, or 1,000 people that we know, and they've got 1,000 people, and we're three degrees away from influencing 1 billion people. And network science has already studied and shown that there's 3 to 4 degrees of influence. So you might be hanging out with someone that's overweight that I've never met, but their influence through you, through me, makes me put on weight. And so
Yep.
within, it's literally a billion people within 3 degrees of influence that we are influencing, which is epic. And the other thing
Yep.
is that the power of the people that are around us, and just the influence of those. And you don't have to cut out your parents or your friends that are negative, or you don't have to do that. You just need to start filling your space and your environment with those people, like a book from Nelson Mandela, or a YouTube video of Jax speaking about how to
Yep.
overcome past traumas, whatever it is, but just filling your space and your environment with those amazing sort of mindsets and people.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's like one thing that causes massive blockages is our perception and association with relationships. So we've been conditioned to believe that family is meant to be supportive of everything that you do. So we take away their right to actually live their own life and to actually support what they want to support, right? So shifting that association is massive freedom. It's just going, I'll let you be you, you let me be me. I don't expect me to support whatever you're doing, and unless it feels organic and real. We're here already. We're trying to get everybody to support us who are like, oh well, look, I'm kind of like, I want to support this other thing, and we're so butthurt about it. Oh, why? Well, we're supposed to be, you're my friend, or you're my mom, or you're my brother, and they're like, but I really am passionate about something else. It's like, shift that association and you're causing freedom in that already.
Yes. And I feel like this is the journey of unconditional love for yourself and for all things. And our family is like the first little testing point of that. Like, there's clearly a bunch of people that are completely different, so much diversity within family dynamics, and yet a majority of people, or a lot of people, can't even deal with the adversity within their family, yet they go out in the real world and the big wide world and try and figure their shit out there. It's like, get your fucking shit together. There's adversity everywhere. Love yourself, love everyone and everything for what it is. And that's the space essentially to get to.
I completely agree. Completely.
Blows my mind. So what I want to know is a little bit more about your program that you've created, and I want to share that with people, and where it came from, what you're doing, the story behind it, because I think that's pretty cool as well. And let everyone know.
Thank you. I love this story because it was so organically accidental. So
Awesome.
not long ago, I call myself, and I still do, a law of attraction geek, nerd. I know so many fundamentals and foundations, and so I fell into an opportunity where I got to share that, and it's kind of grown. I've written books about attracting money, attracting love, and I started a little group, Matt, of like 1, 2, 3 people, which is now expanded to over 600 women in the space of a few months. And I'm like, what? And what that really gave me the opportunity to do was able to see so many truths that I didn't realize existed. So I was helping women and men attract more money into their life and love. And what I started to notice was that someone may attract $5,000 into their life, but at the same time, they're still miserable in something. And it was like, I started to really notice that there was this underlying suffering that was occurring amongst too many women. I'm going to say too many because it shouldn't be there. And because of that and the misery I was witnessing, and like the hunger for more and more and more, and still feeling miserable, I was like, holy dooly, I need to do something about this, because it was actually, I felt their pain, and I felt that gut-wrenching pain, and I was like, well, I need to do something. And so like, I was driving around one day and I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and I said, what do you think about the name Cutthroat Clarity? And she was like, I said, what do you think that says? And she says, it sounds pretty like cutthroat. And I was like, yeah. And that was like, I was like, I don't know why I'm thinking of that, to be honest. And she was like, okay, go. We kept on in our day, and maybe like a month or two later, I was like, right, I've got to do something about this. And I started with developing a program that was completely different to what we're seeing on social media. Like I'm seeing posts that are exactly the same, right? From the same companies, and like different words, but exactly the same. And I'm like, people, we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. And that's not a point. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying that there was this like pattern of people not wanting to achieve so much, but not understanding who they actually are. And so I created a program where I don't teach people how to strive for more or make more money and do all of that. I actually strip all of everything away so they can then figure it out themselves and stand in their truth. So Cutthroat Clarity is an online program that I work with women one-on-one, and it is cutthroat. It's not for everyone. It is literally intense, hardcore, but necessary, and is exactly what I did for myself, and I've compressed it because it works. It worked for me. And it was a matter of stripping away exposure that continues to remind us how shit our life is. You're seeing the highlight reels of everybody subconsciously, although we're telling ourselves consciously, we're telling ourselves that we're searching for something, or something is going to be good, and we follow the likes. Subconsciously, it's telling us how shit our life is. And the reality is that every single person that has access to a phone, electricity, well, pretty much the Western life is the most, we're the most, we should be the most grateful people on the planet. We are so fortunate. And if we could only see the fortune that we have in our life, the fortune in comfortable homes, beds, access to clothing, access to food,
Running
like
water.
really the bare minimum, running water. And people say this all the time, but the law of attraction, if you focus on the gratitude, like really, that's what keeps coming back. And this is why everybody is really finding it hard to get by, because we're focusing on everything that we don't have simply by the exposure. So Cutthroat Clarity, I take it all away. I take away more than you realize is actually impacting you, like more.
Yeah.
And it is, the whole purpose of it is that I hold my queens through it. I hold them through it, because it's not a, here you go, sign up, go on, you've got the content now, go and do it yourself. It is a matter of me holding them through really challenging moments, those fetal position moments, crying out and wondering what the heck is going on. That is what I do. I'm there holding them through that, because I know how hard it is. So Cutthroat Clarity is that I'm finishing a program now, and the results, like the transformations, is, look, this transformation is more valuable to me than me showing them how to earn $1 million in a week.
Can you share maybe one or two examples for people?
Yeah, exactly.
I see Emma just said 100%. I'm living proof. Love you, Em. Hey, Brad. Hey, guys. Jasmine.
So Emma is an example. Cool. Like two of my queens, and I'm sure they won't mind me sharing this, were on the verge of taking their life. Were on the verge. One of them, she mentioned that she had plans of connecting a hose from her car, the muffler, to her window, and literally taking her life because it was getting too much. Like,
it's fucked how many people have actually gotten to this point, and the fact that I've started talking about it and bringing it up, it is so fucking common. It seems like it's oh, you hear about it every now and again, but every fucking person, I reckon, has at least thought about it when they're feeling shit. A lot of people have thought about how to do it, and fuckloads of people have actually tried. It's crazy. Like, it's such an unspoken topic, And people find it so like taboo. It's like, oh, maybe I don't want to talk about it in case someone goes and does it and it puts it in their mind. So, mate, it's fucking in everyone's mind. Everyone knows it's an option.
Yeah, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it, and we need to talk about our impact on that, like as a collective. But yeah, like so, you know, so for her now at the end of it, like beginning, she was a mess, an absolute mess, absolutely. Crying, not sure. It was horrible. No clarity in her life, and now she is like walking on air. She is like she's the greatest example of alignment. She's like, I've never felt this good. Like, and you know, it was, totally. And her smile and her light and direction. Every single one of those women need direction, and now they have direction. And I've not taught them anything new. I've just taken them back to themselves. Another example was, which really hits home for me, like I was saying before, is that I received letters from one of my queens, her daughters, and what they realize, like what their impact it's had on them. Mummy's spending more time with us. She's less time on her phone. We feel connected now, you know, and we love seeing her being more courageous and standing up for herself. And that's from her daughters who are like 8 years old.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, that's where it's at. That's where it's at, you know, one life at a time, one direction at a time. And that's what matters. Cool. That is what matters.
And it's amazing how the impact permeates just through families, communities. It's like I said, like 3 degrees from a billion people. Like the impact that you've had on her, and just what she's going to go out do, and people around her from a distance seeing her like that is just going to create amazing change as well. So it's literally the trim tab. It's a small change. It makes a massive, massive difference.
Yeah, and they are small changes. It's just, again, like losing weight. The formula is so simple. The formula is simple. It's just actually doing it on your own is impossible.
Yeah, and I love the cutthroat, because it really is like when you're ripping apart people's perspectives and perceptions of their reality that they've been ingrained since basically birth. It's you got to be fucking cutthroat, and it's ripping their reality apart, really, to create this new one for themselves, which is fucking awesome fun. I love doing it, and I love seeing it in people. I love doing it to myself. But it is cutthroat. Like, it's brutal.
It has to be. It has to be. There's no more niceness. Like, niceness is not working for anyone. This is why people want to take their life, is because it's not working. Like, everyone's you're doing really well. In other words, you're saying, I don't give a shit. Like, it's like, I give a shit. A shit, and I'm going to give a shit with you. And, you know, if it takes you crying, if it takes you breaking down, I will take those bullets. And I've said that to my queens when we start, is like, I'm not going to fight with you, but I'm going to fight for you. And if that means taking your swearing and hates at me and Jack, you're a bitch, I'll take that. I'll take it for you, because you need this. I need this. We need this.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. And I fucking love that too. I love it's amazing being able to stand in our own power and hold that space for people. And I used to feel this. I did a lot of sales jobs, right? And I remember feeling it in sales, like there's a pushy salesman, but I never felt pushy. I always felt like, I'm not going to take your shit, because I've listened to you long enough. I know where your pain is, and I know that I can help you. I don't give a fuck if you come on with me, as long as you listen and sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and listen.
100%, yeah. And sometimes people need to hear that. They go, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I got
too many people around are just enablers. Oh, no, you're all right, mate. Yeah, no, that's fucked. Don't do that. Oh, yeah, that person fucked you over. No, it's all you, mate. So thank you for sharing. And anyone watching, people watching the replay, let us know, and definitely check Jax out. But I wanted to ask as well, and this came up for me just yesterday after we chatted, actually, which is something that I really recognized and admiring about what you said, was you had the business, right? You had the accolade, you had the money, you had all this, right? But yet it wasn't fulfilling you. And I've noticed now through my conditioning, when I first got into this coaching space and helping people, I had this limiting belief around people that had their shit together, business owners, this, that, the other, who seemed successful. Why would they work with me? They've already got their shit together. But what I realized
Yes.
and recognized is that, like you said, there's so many people that work so hard on making the money, making getting the status, getting the accolades, that they completely ignore what's within, and they're fucking lost. They just don't know where they are, who they are, especially, like, that's a big one. And in relationships as well, they fight for this amazing sort of utopian relationship family lifestyle, and they realize, fuck, what am I? I'm just this caricature in this family now. I don't know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've gone away from that, and now you're all soul, you're all heart about giving and helping people. So can you chat about that and that transformation for you on a point?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Because you're right. I had one time, like, money was so, like, fluent, but number one, I couldn't hold it. I had no respect for it. And it wasn't until I lost it until I was like, shit, I need to have respect for this. But the thing is, the reality is that to have more money means you have less of other things that are important.
Yeah.
And which means less time with family, less time with friends. I was saying, although I was had a successful restaurant, I was saying no to weddings. I couldn't even go to some funerals. And, that was just causing massive, massive impacts. So for me, in the darkest moments, when all I had was, well, I was in a tent in someone's living room, because that's, they housed me, and all of the people that helped me, I realized that relationship was more valuable than any material wealth on the face of the planet. Any of it. And when you say, when you said before about people who are, maybe making a lot of money, and they're like, why would they need help from me? Is because they're experiencing this disconnection, and they're wondering too, and they're wondering how long they can hold on to this for, this mask, and they need to get deep and dirty and yucky. And so for me, from not having a car for ages, and I mean, walking up the street with my luggage bag to do my shopping, cruising up with that, like, looking like I'm going traveling, but it's actually groceries in there, because that's all I could do, right? To now having, like, the most humblest little rundown car, and I love this car. I'm like, yeah, I love you. I appreciate you so much. And I have zero desire to like move from my home. I'm that money's coming in, but I have no desire to make those material changes, because I've finally got to a place where I'm like, well, the material means nothing to me.
Yeah.
It's the expansion that comes with helping people, and the expansion that comes from, having that an income that supports that expansion, but also an income that also will help me provide for my children when they're ready for their expansions too, that kind of thing. But so for me, it was a huge transformation. I had to lose it all, but I don't want people to lose it all, for them to realize that too. I don't want that, because that was a painful transition that only I could handle, and I had to realize that I was chosen to handle that, and not many people in the situation that I was in, where you've lost your family's money, $500,000. The guilt around that was disgusting. Disgusting. And so I don't want anyone to experience that type of guilt as well. So I guess that's why, you stand where you stand, I stand where I stand, with our tortures, with our rawness, with our realness, with our like, we'll take the bullets. But so that was a big thing. And I feel like now, because I've let go of that, I've let go with this desire to drive this car, or to show off, like, this is an op shop. I'm an avid op shopper. I'm like, I fucking love it. I don't want to, I don't need to show off my things. I shaved my head for that reason, right? And so
I got my $7 blazer right here from the op shop the other day.
And that's humble. That makes me feel good in myself. I don't pretend in. I'm not pretending,
No.
and I don't want to pretend anymore. And so, so for me to be able to realize that, it's allowed so much more inside myself. And as you can see, there's so much flow in my life simply because I've let go of that too. And it was a huge thing. And the universe is like, all right, you're ready, girl.
Yeah.
You're ready. And I'm like, yeah, bring it on.
That's awesome.
Oh.
I love it. Okay. Well, is there something that you would like to impart, or a final message that you would like to give to people that are watching?
Yeah. Yes. One that's been on my mind a lot is that if we can be a bundle of cells, a bundle of, like, you know, the miracle within our bodies alone is incredible, right? It's incredible. This, we cannot be made again by humans. Like this, we're incredible. Everything that goes on, and every single opportunity that is available is such a real thing. And what I really want everybody to know is that we all have a purpose, whether it's small or large, regardless of what it is. It's one of those things that makes you feel really good inside, and that you have direction. Now we all have access to that, and every single one of us is freaking special. Every single one of us, everyone that's watching, even though you may not feel like it. If you're sitting there and you've got like, you're alone, or you've got a house full of kids and you don't feel like this, every single one of us has our own destiny that we've signed up for, and you have access to that. And I really want everybody to really understand that you are special, you are unique, and we need you. The world needs you. And that's what I really want everybody to know, is that it's so true. Like there's nothing that you could ever like do that's going to change that. And you're born with that gift.
Jax, thank you so much. And in that, I want to just add that the reason I was so excited to have you on is because I know that so many people need an example of what we're talking about before, where our treasure really is within the rough, the diamond within the rough. And you're an amazing example of how it took me so long to try and figure out and understand is that our diamonds really are in our pains, in our past. And so guys, anything that you guys are going through, the reason that you've been given this opportunity to go through these pains is because you're here to serve all these other people, just like Jax is right now. She's sharing her pains, but she was able to go through them because she was the one that was going to be able to handle it. So she could come here right now and express this to the world to help all you guys and so many more people go through and get through what they're going through as well. So that's your gift. That's Jax's gift. And it's just fucking amazing to observe and be a part of. And again, I'm honored to have you on here, and thank you so much for joining me and opening up.
Thank you for having me. That was fist bump. Fist bump, babe. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us. My pleasure.
Thank you.
See you guys.